Hey Board Game Maniacs, Maniac Rob here to bring you another battle report that I'm super excited over. We're playing none other than Wild West Exodus by War Cradle Studios. I've been wanting to play this game for a while. I played it here and there, a couple of games, not a lot. I don't know the rules inside out, but I figured what other way to learn the rules than just to play the game. So as you can see, partly I have this little town set up and we're ready to do battle. I got two different factions that are going to go head to head, and to see what it is, we're going to roll off for the scenario, pick whatever scenario it is according to what it says in the list, and I'll go over the details and we'll go from there. So just have a seat, get your 44 out, make sure it's all loaded, or your 30-30, and get ready to do some pot shots and stop people from stealing your stuff, your gold, in this game of Wild West Exodus. Here's a quick look at the table setup that we have going on. I did roll the die and I got a number 1, and judging from the book, for the scenarios that are in the book, we are playing Supply Run. Now, how Supply Run works, that's a good question. I'm just going to read it right out of the book. So victory, after 5 turns, so we have 5 turns to complete this game. The adventure ends and the player with the most victory points wins the game. Should one player no longer have any models in the play area at the end of step 3 of the resolution phase, their opponent scores an additional 5 victory points and the game immediately ends. So for the supply run, supply drops are always a risk on the frontier. Carriages laden with gold for the banks attach many a greedy eye. Okay, I got a hole punch in that. Let me try that again. Supply drops are always a risk on the frontier. Carriages laden with gold for the banks attract many a greedy eye. While food, water, and fuel drops are targeted for hungry and desperate. Are a target for hungry and desperate. I'm reading off of this here. I have it printed out. This is rules version 1.08. It's the newest rules that they have out so far. You can see there's hole punches here, so I'm trying to see what the words are in that. Anyhow, so in Supply Run, you must secure the supply drops while fending off the rival force. Place a small base supply token on each of the 3 points marked in the map with a skull. The objective of Supply Run. At the end of each turn, a player scores a victory point for each supply token they control. In a supply run, a token is controlled if you have one or more models within 3 inches of a token with no enemy models within 3 inches of the same token. So pretty much that's what this scenario is about for the supply drop. Supply run, I should say. So just to show you, this is one supply drop right here. Right in the gallows is supply drop number 2, and right over there is supply drop number 3. And that is it. That is the objective of the game. This is how the game works. And again, it's within 3 inches of one of the supply dumps or supply drops. But no other enemy model can be in within 3 inches of that for you to hold that objective by the end of the turn. This goes to the end of 5 turns, and then we see who's going to win unless one faction kills the models of the other faction right away. Then the game will end and you just total victory points, and you'll get extra victory points if you have killed all the models from the enemy faction. That's it. Pretty simple. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go over what factions I used, how many points, and we'll just continue on from there. As you can see, I have my both factions set up with 2 different posses. Well, 1 posse in each faction. And we're going to go over and look and see which one it is. So let's go over to this one first. I chose Warrior Nation. Now, with the Warrior Nation, they have some pretty cool miniatures. Their defense is kind of low, what I'm looking at from the cards. But they have like a really powerful hitting force. Like, you can do a lot of damage. Whew, oh boy. So the Warrior Nations is 1, and this is a total of 750 points that I have right here. The other faction is the Union. Now the Union has a little bit more of an advantage. They have 755 points, but it's pretty close to being balanced. I've never used the Union before. This is fairly new to me that I got these miniatures and they're all painted up nice and fancy. Now, on top of that, you know, you can see that the cards are actually a little larger. And the reason why these cards are a little larger, it's not because I'm old and my eyesight is going, well, that may be one reason. But one of the main reasons is when I got these box sets, or the starter sets, the character cards that came into it were only for an older version. Now, because of that, you can go to the War Cradle Studios webpage, or you can just go to wildwestexodus.com and you'll find all of the faction cards, all the rule books that you can print out for free, and all the add-ons and everything that you can print out for free. That's right, for free. wildwestexodus.com is the place to go to get all this. And that's what it is. I just downloaded all of the information, the updated rule book, the updated character sheets and everything else. And then I just got them printed off and I just made them a little bigger because I do like that, you know, the cards aren't that big when you buy them from the store. But when I printed them off, I had an option to increase the size of it, which I did do. So it does make it a little bit more better for me to see. That is it. Let's take a close look at the Warrior Nation and who I brought them. The boss now is Wax Looking. It's a boss warrior nation human female. Now all of these things, you will see what all of this means as the time goes on. And she has like Spirit Blades, Parry, Attuned, and Decapitate. We will hit these playing the game for sure. They have common rules and special rules too as well. She is unique. She has 3 fortune. You can see 3 fortune chips right there that she can spend, or as well as anybody else into her posse can use too as well. Let's go to this one. This is White Buffalo. He's a unique too as well. He don't have any fortune though. He has Spirit Axis, Attuned, and Decapitate for his special abilities, and he has some here too as well. And then you have Little Claw. Now Little Claw, she has 1 fortune to use. She has Tomahawk, Throne, and Decapitate for her rules too as well. And you can see some special abilities in that. Raven Eye. Raven Eye don't have any fortune, but she's a face. Actually, before I forgot to say, so Wax Looking is a boss. White Buffalo, Little Claw, and Raven's Eye is face. They're faces. Now you can see the cost value. Now this is not a tutorial video. I will explain some things, but expect to get some rules mistakes from me because again, I've never played this game that much. And if I do make any rules mistakes, by all means, please, please, please comment down below and let me know the rules mistakes that I made. And also refer to a page number into the rulebook. Again, the updated rulebook of version 1.08. That's the rulebook I'm following. Now, on top of that, I have some support. They're the Kaga Brothers. And there's 3 miniatures here that you can see for the Kaga Brothers. I really liked assembling these miniatures and painting them. There was a lot of fun. They had great detail on these miniatures. I can't say enough about War Cradle Studios and what they did for the miniatures because they're incredible looking. Let's go to the Union and see what I brought for the Union. For the Union, we have Odysseus Grant. He's a boss, Union human male general tainted. He has some special abilities here. Vengeance, Brutal, Grant, Family Blade, Parry, Hazard, and Decapitate. We'll go over all of this stuff as it comes up during the game because honestly, I don't really know off the top of my head what all of this means. I'll have to look it up in the book. We also have Alfred Woodhouse. Now he's a face. The boss is Odysseus. Alfred is a face and he has basic melee weapon, chase pistol, long range artillery. So he could do artillery strikes. That's really cool for this guy. And you can see here, this is William Sherman. He's a phase 2 as well. He kind of looks, I don't know why, but it reminds me of the Winter Soldier. Just a little tiny bit. Not a lot, but just a little bit. That's what he reminds me of. He's pretty cool looking. And he has basic melee weapon, thermite grenades, and Old Reliable. Next, we have Bernard Hopkins. He's a face unit too as well. You can see, look at this miniature. Wow. He's behind sandbags. He's ready to do some sniping. Oh, he's going to be long range, be able to shoot. He has basic melee weapon. He has a chance sniper rifle with a 20-inch range. That's crazy. Refined and decapitate. Now, we also have a support unit of Union Fire Team. This Union Fire Team, basic melee weapon, chance sniper rifle, refined. Woohoo! And he also, you can see here, these look like Gatling guns too. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Now, these are two miniatures. The sniper guy I did not take because it would add an extra 40 points, so it'd be over. I want to try to keep the forces balance of 750 points, but one's 750 and 755. That is the point value. And that's it. That is the miniature. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to deploy them, and then I'll be back, and then we can start the battle. Just remember the name of this scenario again is Supply Run. For deployment, what you have to do is you first have to find out who was initiative. And the way you do it, these are called action cards. These are adventure cards. So with action cards, you flip one over and you go by the value, and whoever has the highest initiative goes first. So that's a 5 for the Warrior Nation. I kind of not thinking that they're going to go first. Now this is a 47. Ooh boy, so you know who goes first? The Union gets to deploy first, and then after the Union deploys first, then the Warrior Nation will go, and then the Union. It's back and forth, back and forth. Now, one thing about this that I just read in the rule book is after deployment, if one player A, so player A is going to be the Union and player B is going to be the Warrior Nation. So if the Union finishes deploying Warrior Nation to finish deploying before the Union is finished, what will happen is then the Warrior Nation has a chance to flip over another one and see if the initiative is higher than the initiative that. If so, then player B, or the Warrior Nation in this case, will have a chance to say, you know, I'm going to steal the initiative from you, I'm going to go first. And that's how the initiative works. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start deploying back and forth, starting with the Union and then going to the Warrior Nation, and I'll be back after deployment is all finished. Deployment is 6 inches from the table edge. So table edge, or table edge, or table edge, or table edge. Now, one thing I want to point out too as well with this is that this game, because it is under like 999 points, I think it is, or under 1500 points, I'm not exactly sure, that you play on a 3x3 table. Anything above that, you play in a 4x4. This table, however, is a 4x4. I'm just going to play in a 4x4. I just want a bigger table so I can put more terrain and spread it out, as you can see. And that's all, but I'm going to try to stick to the rules as much as possible. Try not to get as many rules mistakes for this, and hopefully everything will go great. I'm excited about this game. I fell in love with this game when I went to Adepticon. They were demoing it and I played it, and instantaneously I was hooked. With the great looking miniatures, the story behind everything, and the mechanics of the game. It was all incredible. It caught my attention and I so wanted to play this game. And now I'm playing it for you and for me. So let's do the deployment. I'll be back. Deployment is all finished. Now, what I explained to you before about if one player ends deployment before the other does. In this game, it's not going to apply because it was the Union that had initiative, and they also finished deploying before the Warrior Nation. So they don't have to steal initiative, but they can say, well, you know what? Warrior Nation can go first instead of me, but we're just going to keep it exactly like that. Now, one thing I want to note too as well is that one of the special abilities, specifically talking about the Warrior Nation, 2 of the miniatures have an ability called Trail Finder. And what Trail Finder does is that after everybody is deployed, pretty much the miniatures with Trail Finder get to move as a free action, so their quickness. And the quickness for that, so it's wax looking was 1 and the quickness was 6, so I should get to move an extra 6 inches. And the other one was White Buffalo, I think it is, if I'm not mistaken. Yes, and White Buffalo was able to move an extra 5 inches, in which I did. So I'll show you what the deployment is. So down here, you can see the Kaga brothers are right up here. They're kind of trying to hide behind some cover. And then you have White Buffalo, he moved his extra bit, so he's in base-to-base contact with an obstacle, which is a stone wall. And you have Raven Eye, I think her name is, yes, Raven Eye, right here. She's got her sights ready so that she can shoot anybody who goes up to the gallows. And then you have Wax Looking, which is here. She did her Trail Finder move. And last but not least for the Warrior Nation, I can't remember her name, I'm sorry. Oh, it's Little Claw. So Little Claw don't have Trail Finder but move 6 inches up. And that is the deployment for the Warrior Nation. For the Union, none of them had Trail Finder. And you can see 2 of the Union are here with their Gatling guns. They're just support. You have your boss, Odysseus. And you also had the sniper guy, which is Bernard Hopkins. I'll eventually get these names right. And you can see the artillery specialist, which is Alfred Woodhouse. He's right here. And then you have William Sherman, the other face, who deployed right there. And that is deployment. So now, what you do is the initiative first. We got to see who is going to go first. Correction, to see who goes first, all it is it was the Union that won the initiative. So the Union goes first. That is the correction. See, I'm making rules mistakes already again because I only played this game very little. I fell in love with it and I'm playing this to learn it more because I learn by doing or by playing in this instance. Let's see how many action points the Union gets first. I only pick up 1 card. And it's 1 action point. 1 stinking action point. Who am I going to activate for this 1 action point? Again, it is the Union's turn to activate 1, and it has 1 action point. Now, one thing that I forgot to do is, because this is under 999 points, we get 3 adventure cards each. So that's 3 for Warrior Nation, and then 3 on this side. And that is it for I'll look at these off camera. I'm going to kind of keep it a surprise for everybody. And one thing I like to mention is, I'm going to point to these heart tokens right here. That is not included in any of the Wild West Exodus game. What these are for is just a reminder for me so that when I activate one of the units, I'm going to put it onto the card to let me know that they already activated. That's all what that is. So I'm going to turn the camera off. I'm going to look at the cards for each. And then I think I already know who I'm going to activate on the Union side right now. And I'll go over why I'm activating him, what is he going to do. One other quick note about this is Wild West Exodus is a 2-player game. Now, because it's only me against me, I'm going to be able to see all of this stuff. But just to note that these cards are meant to be kept secret from the other player. 1 activation point. What Union am I going to pick? I know exactly who I'm going to pick. And I'm going to pick Alfred Woodhouse. Why am I going to pick Alfred Woodhouse? Well, his limit is 3. L3 is how many actions he can take this turn. He only has 1 action point though. But you know what? That's not bad because I know one thing. I don't want to move or anything. I'm going to actually use a long-range artillery. It's a special blast, indirect, and brutal. So what all that means is, first is he has a range of 72 inches, so he can shoot right across the board. He has a -2 pierce value and a rate of fire of 1. Special. Now special means that you can only do this once per activation. So this is the only time he's going to be able to do it, but he only has 1 action point, no big deal. Blast. So with blast you use, which is called the blast template, and you're going to place this above the target, and then it hits everything else which is underneath. And also too, as well as, you know, you can roll to see if it's going to scatter or what have you. If you fail your aim test, it just means that it was a dud and it never went off. So hopefully I'm not going to fail my aim test because it's a 5. On top of that too as well is indirect. What indirect means is you don't need to have a clear line of sight to whatever you're going to shoot. So pretty much what summing that all up is that Alfred Woodhouse is going to be able to hit anything on the board that he wants at this point. I just did a little bit of measuring to see, and he can even get corner to corner if he wants. So Alfred's got a really good range. Now nobody is really bunched up. He could only hit probably one model, but if you look at the Kaga brothers right here, or Kaga brothers, Kaga, that's it. So these Kaga brothers, they're lumped up enough so that he's saying, Alfred's like, okay, I'm going to try to shoot the guy with the crossbow. But if you look, it is also touching the base on either one of those. So all 3 of these guys are going to get hit if he passes his aim test. Let's look how you do an aim test. Just a quick note before we do the aim test, as you see down here, it also has brutal with that symbol. This game is played on a D10 system, so whatever you do, you add up, you take the modifiers, you know, your value, everything else, and it has to equal 10. If it equals 10 or higher, you succeed. And if you notice, there are 2 symbols I want to point to onto this. So the skull with the spade, that is a number 1, which means it's a critical failure. So there's no re-rolling or nothing onto that. And you also have the Wild West Exodus symbol, that is a critical hit, which is a 10. So if he rolls a 10, brutal is triggered, which means that you can do another shot onto the same target. So this is very devastating, the long-range artillery. You can see Alfred behind there calling in the artillery strike. And he shoots it and it's going over. And you can see the Kaga brothers are right here. And unfortunately, all 3 will be hit for this. So first, we have to make the aim test for Alfred to see if he passes. So his aim is 5. So for the aim test, he has to get 5 or higher to successfully pass. And he's got a 5. So that means that the aim was successful. So he's centering this gentleman here with the crossbow. These 2 are going to be hit. Now what happens after it's success? So all 3 of these are going to get hit. Now each of these have to take a grit test. Alfred's, he has a pierce of -2, so which means that the grit for the Kaga brothers, you can see here, is 4. It goes down to 2. So they have to have 8 or higher to pass, and you have to do this individually. So let's see if this one gets killed first. So he needs 8 or higher to pass. 4 plus 2 is 6. Unfortunately, this Kaga brother is out of action. Ouch. I was using the wrong, still D10, but the red is for the Kaga. Okay, so let's see if he's going to take it or not, if he passes his grit test. 3. Oh, he fails it too, so he's down. Last but not least, this artillery fire is hazardous and dangerous. Come on, someone can pass it. 6. So he had to get 8 or higher to pass. Unfortunately, he didn't. So that means that artillery blast just completely wiped out the entire support team for the Warrior Nation. I just checked the special rules for the Kaga brothers. Hopefully that they would have Quick in the Dead, which would help them, but unfortunately they don't have Quick in the Dead. And even if they did have Quick in the Dead, they wouldn't have been able to use it against a blast template. Now what Quick in the Dead does is, so if somebody is trying to shoot, they can spend a fortune, or they can do, which is called Quick in the Dead, where they would do a quick check for this be a quick 5. So if they passed, what would mean that they would avoid all of them shots that were shot at them. But unfortunately, they do not have Quick in the Dead, and that means that Alfred Woodhouse completely destroyed 1 unit. Bam! Just like that, of the support. Ouch. It's on to the Warrior Nation. Now, hopefully they may be able to get some revenge here, or at least move up to get a better fighting position to get ready to battle. So, 3 action points. That's not bad. Now let me take a look to see who is going to activate. For the Warrior Nation with the 3 action points, White Buffalo is going to activate. Now, he's pretty close to this right here, which is one of the supply drops. So I'm thinking what he's going to do is he's gonna move his quick of 5, and then he's going to dash for the second action, and it might bring him up that within the 3 inches of this. Who knows? We'll see. I'll be back shortly. Just looked up in the book what a dash is, just so I can understand what it is. And what a dash is you can spend one of your action points to perform a dash. And a dash is your quick plus a D5, and you round up. Now again, White Buffalo is going to try this. He's going to move his 5 for his first action. Second action, he's going to try to do a dash, and then he may focus that to get up close to the supply crate. It's going to be in the open. He could get picked off, but hopefully he'll manage it, because this game is all about victory points. And we're going to try that. So here's D6. So 2, you got to round up, so that's 3. So that's an extra 5, 6, 7, 8 inches. And then he's probably going to focus it too as well. I'll move him up a total of 8 plus 5, and then we'll see if he has to do a focus or not. I moved White Buffalo. Again, he was able to move up the 8, or the 5, then the 8, and it wasn't quite long enough, so he did a focus and led him to move 2 more inches. So there is where he is. He's kind of in prime location right there, so that he can get a victory point. Again, I'm not sure about the victory points. If they get a victory point for killing somebody, I will double check into the book, but I may just do a house rule, and if you kill a miniature, you don't get a victory point, because the objective of this is to get the supply crates by the end of turn 5. So I'm thinking I'm just house ruling it, and that is victory points. We're going to play not if you kill a miniature, but if you are within the supply drop. But I will double check. But yeah, I'm just going to house rule it. If you know any better, please just comment and let me know. Because again, I'm very new. I'm learning. Every time I do a step, I stop the camera, I look at the rule book, and I turn it back on to hopefully get this all right. But that is the end of the White Buffalo's turn with his 3 action points. You know, what he could have done is went up only 2, and for his third action point, he could have hunkered down, which would give him a +1 to his grit if anybody shoots him. But, you know, it's all or nothing. You know, we're still early into the game, but hey, that's what White Buffalo is doing. He's going there right now. I just double checked, and you do get victory points for kills. So that means the Union got 3 victory points because it killed 3 of the support, well, the whole unit, which was of the 3 Kaga brothers. Now, one thing I forgot is I could have spent a fortune from one of the warrior nations to reroll my grid if I wanted to see if I could pass. I didn't do it though, so we just have to keep moving ahead to keep going along. But lesson learned, lesson learned. So therefore the Union has 3 victory points so far, and the Warrior Nation has 0 victory points. It is on to the Union to see what victory points, what activation they get, how many points, and who I'm going to activate. And it's going to be 1. Ooh, who am I going to activate? I can't activate Alfred because I already did. What am I going to do? I don't know. For the Union, Bernard Hopkins is going to activate. Now he has a chance sniper rifle. It has refine and decapitate. It has a range of 20 with a -2 pierce and a 1 shot, which is rate of attack. Ooh, this is gonna be good. So let's take a look at the range and what the modifiers are going to be. Bernard is right there. He is over 12 inches, so he takes a -1. And because White Buffalo is also behind cover. It's going to be a -1 too as well, because he's kind of shooting. He's pretty close, but he's a good shot, but he's shooting through the prongs here. He may hit one of them, so that's a -2 on top. So therefore, Bernard's aim is 6. It's a -2, so he has to get 8 or higher to pass. Woo! Here we go. See if he gets 8 or higher to hit. He gets a 9, so he successfully hits White Buffalo. White Buffalo's in trouble here, so I think what White Buffalo is going to do is he's going to use his Quick and the Dead, because if you look on his card, he has Quick and the Dead, which is good. For White Buffalo to successfully pass the Quick and the Dead, he has to make a quick test. Now, White Buffalo's quick test is 5. So he has to get at least 5, and if he does, then the shot does not go through. Oh, he gets a 4. So he failed his Quick and the Dead, so the shot has gone through. Now, one thing I forgot is that before any dice are rolled, White Buffalo would have to say, hey, I'm going to do Quick and the Dead. And then he would do that, but I kind of forgot that part. In any case, even if he said it and rolled it, well then he got the 4, so he failed. So because of that, he's got to do the grit check. Now for the grit check for White Buffalo, he has a grit of 6. I got to see if there's a Pierce value on the sniper rifle, because that will drop his grit down even more. Onto the sniper rifle, there's a -2 Pierce value. So White Buffalo's grit of 6 is going, he has to get 8 or higher now on the dice instead to survive. If not, White Buffalo is toast. He's dead. This is no good. He's got a 3, so he's going to fail unless he's going to use a fortune, and he is going to spend, oops, I hit the camera, one of the fortunes from Locke's Looking to reroll. Hopefully it's going to work better. Got a 3, still failed. Oh no, White Buffalo, you're dead. You took a chance of going in the open, and unfortunately, the gods did not favor you, and you are shot and killed. Oh, that hurt White Buffalo. Well, of course it hurt. Last thing that entered his mind was a bullet, because he shot him in the head. Not even done the first round. And the Union has 4, that's right, 4 victory points already. This is not looking good at all for the Warrior Nation. This is really, really turning out to be a bad time for them. One thing I'd like to point out is when we deployed our miniatures 6 inches from the table edge. Now, I did mention too that this board is a 4x4, giving it large. With the 4x4 board, when you're deploying your miniatures, you can actually deploy them up to 8 inches from the table edge, but I just chose to do a 6 to make the game last a little bit longer. But as you can see, the Union is kicking the Warrior Nation's butt all over the place. And I don't know what to say about this, because I really like the Warrior Nation, but it seems like the Union has more of a stronger firepower than the Warrior Nation can hold and withstand. The White Buffalo just get killed, but what I could have done too as well is when the sniper rifle, which is Bernard Hopkins, when he declared that the White Buffalo was going to be the initial target, then White Buffalo could have said, nope, I'm doing Quick and the Dead. And that's before any dice are rolled. And you could see just an unmodified quick check to see if he just, is not going to get hit or not. But I didn't do that, unfortunately. But he did use a fortune, try to roll it, but he failed still. And that ends the turn for the Union, with another casualty going towards the Warrior Nation, and then we're on to the Warrior Nation. They have to start picking up their game a little bit to see if they can get any kills in or get close to the objection or the supply drop. Let's draw the action point card for the Warrior Nation. 3. So 3 action points. Not 100% sure what I'm going to do with this one, because they're suffering mass casualties and they're not even close to any of the supply drops there. Gotta play this smart because it's looking really bad. I mean, really bad for them. I'm going to activate Little Claw. Now, she has a quickness of 6 with a limit of 3, and she has 3 action points that she can spend. So that's what I'm going to do for her, so she's able to move 6 inches. She is going to move her 6 inches, and then she's going to do a dash, and she may even focus that. That will be 3 action points. Move is 1, dash is 2 action points, and then focus would be your 3rd action point. Now, she could move for 1 and then move again, but if she moved again, it's going to cost her 2 action points. So she'd only get 12 inches, but by doing a dash, it's her movement plus a D5. And then focus, you get, an extra 2 inches. I'll be back, I'm going to do that, and I'll show you where she is. First off, let's roll for her dash. So, it's a 3. So really, that's just an extra inch. So in total, she's going to move her quick of 6, plus 1 is 7 for her dash, and then 2 more for focus, which is 8, 9. So 6, 7, 8, 9. So in total, 9 inches. That is where she ends her turn, and thus it ends her activation. But I'm going to play an adventure card, and I'm using the gut side of this. This is resolve this card and reveal this card and discard and gain the following for your activation. Plus 1. So what that means is any miniature that is within 8 inches of her when I play this card gets to activate automatically right after it. So this is within 8 inches. So Wax Looking is going to activate now, which means the Union has to wait a little bit longer. Oh boy. Wax Looking has a limit of 3, so we're going to draw the action card for her. Okay, please be better than a 1. So it's 3, which is good. 3 action points, she had a limit of 3, that's not a problem. So now I gotta decide what I'm going to do at Wax Looking, because I know that I just want to move her up closer so that she's within the 3 inches, if possible, of that supply drop, which will, at the end of the turn, get a victory point for her. And I'm thinking that's what I'm going to do. But just let everybody know, this heart thing is only used. It don't include in the game, like I said, but I just include it so I know what models have activated and which models did not activate. Just makes things a little easier. And I already have put one on here for Little Clock. She activated first. So, because of that, now, let's look at her Wax Looking's rules first, her common rules. Metal, the quick and the dead, largest, target priority, trail finder, and agile. And her special rules: Combat Master, Soul Strike, and Invigorate. I was going to say ignorant. No, it's Invigorate. I think I'm just going to move with her. So like move with the dash and then focus, see how far she can get. She got a quick of 6. Let's see what she gets then for her dash. So 2, you got to half that because this is a D10, and then you round up. So 2 will be 1, which will be 2 again, which is 2 inches. And so she gets a total movement of 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 inches. So I'm going to move her 10 inches. You can see she moved her total of 10 inches. And there's the supply crate, or the supply drop. And unfortunately I just measured, and because she failed her dash, well, she didn't fail, she only got a low number, then she's over 3 inches away, but she's preparing for the next turn to get up there, because we're still on round 1. Whew. Now it's on to the Union's turn. Let's do the activation card and see what the Union's going to do. Activation for the Union. Big 3 points. Now I'm going to have to figure out what the Union is going to do if they're going to try to pick off another of the Warrior Nation. Now we already have Bernard Hopkins with a great range with his sniper rifle activated. I have Alfred Woodhouse that had a great range. So I'm not sure yet. Gotta figure this out. I'll be back. I'm choosing to activate the Union Fire Team. Both of them have just standard Gatling guns. I could upgrade to, I could have upgraded, I should say, to the Liberty Gatling gun. Now, the thing with the Liberty Gatling gun, you have to spend an extra cost, and these guys are already over by 5 points, so they just have the normal Gatling guns. Their limit is 2, and we had 3 action points. What I'm going to do with these guys then, I think, is they're just going to move up. They're quick of 5, and then I'm thinking they're probably going to go on lookout, so that if anything else is going to come, then they're going to be able to shoot. And they're kind of in the open here, waiting for like walks looking or somebody to come up. So I'm going to measure for 5. Hopefully they'll be able to see the supply dump. I don't think they'll be able to, but still they're going to be getting ready for the next turn in order. So I'm going to move them up for their first action point. Their second action point is they're going to go on lookout. I changed my mind. I didn't put them on lookout. All I did is for my second action, I did a dash with them. Unfortunately, the rolls are starting to suck really bad, and they were only able to move an extra inch. So in total, they're up to here, but they were able to pivot around so that both of them can see that supply dump. So that means that they are going to wait right there for the supply dump. Uh-oh. Something has to happen, because once one of the Warrior Nations go out to the supply dump, they're going to be shot at. But the thing is they only have to be within 3 inches to claim the victory point. But both of them is activated. They've activated. Now we're on to the Warrior Nation again. See who is left to activate there, because they're getting slim pickings on who they can activate. For the Warrior Nation, how many action points? 4. Oh, this could be good, very beneficial. The only one left for the Warrior Nation didn't activate yet is Raven's Eye. She has a limit of 3 for Raven's Eye. She has refined with her chance rifle, 18-inch range, -1 for pierce, a rate of fire of 1. Her common rules is metal, quick in the dead, target priority, surefoot, deadeye, and teamwork. Her special is a trapper. I have to try to figure out what she's going to do, because as you can see across the board there, she's kind of, getting close that she might be able to shoot at the boss or Bernard Hopkins. That's what she might do. I'll figure it out and come back. She has a limit of 3, but she has 4 action points. Now, Raven Eye, you can see she was here. What she chose to do is quick 5, dash, and focus. So they're getting shot, and she's out in the open. This is horrible, because you can see right there, I just noticed that I moved these guys here. So she might have a chance of getting shot, just like White Buffalo did, where he got picked off here. But they got to get some kind of victory points. There's no way that they can get up on top of the Union for this turn to try to shoot them. Or not shoot them, but kill them. But she has a range of 18. I did check, and even if she didn't use one of her action points, she wouldn't have been in range to shoot either one of those guys, or the guy hiding behind there. So because of that, this is the only thing that she could really do. Now, She could have only moved up 2 and then hunkered down, but she's just going for broke because they need some victory points. They need to get on the board here. This is bad. But that ends her activation. Yeah, the only people left to activate now is going to be the boss of the Union, which is Odysseus. You can see right here for Odysseus. And William Sherman is the only 2 left to activate because you can see everyone else activated. Oh boy. So I'm going to activate them and see what happens. First action point. 3 action points. Now, he has Vengeance with a 12-inch range. And you can see here, Thermite Grenade 6-inch, or he's got the Old Reliable, which is a 12-inch range. I'm going to have to do some measuring here. By the way, you are allowed to pre-measure as much as you want in this game. It is legal to do. I've decided to activate Odysseus Grant. What he's going to do is he's going to move its quickness to 5. He's going to try to do a dash 2 as well. And then that will be 2 out of his 3 action points. I think he's going to be able to, might get a shot off at Raven Eye. We'll see. Odysseus did decide to do that. So his quick is 5. He rolled. He got an 8. So you half that. And you round up. So that will be another 5. So that's 10 inches he moved. And that's 2 action points. Now he has 1 more action point. And you know what he's going to do. He's going to try to shoot Raven Eye right here. Now I'm going to measure to see the distance. But I'm thinking, because his gun that he has is a 12-inch range. Let's check that out. It is a 12-inch range that he has, and it's a -4 piercing value. That's like so bad. And you can see he is just within the 12-inch range to shoot. But Raven Eye's like, whoa, hold on a second. I'm doing quick and the dead. That's even before he goes to shoot, because you can't just do quick and dead after you roll the dice. I double checked it. You have to do it before any dice is rolled. So Raven Eye is choosing quick and the dead. Let's see if she's going to pass it. Raven Eye's quickness is 5. So she has to get 5 or higher on this dice. It is an unmodified for rolling. So hopefully that she's going to do this. She got a 4. Ugh. So she wouldn't pass this, but she's going to sell one of Waxlooking's fortune to re-roll that. Now again, you can only do this once per turn. 7. She passed it, so she did a quick and the dead, which is good. And if she failed her quick and the dead this time, she could choose to do metal, but she'll be disordered, which is a negative condition. It's really bad. But she passed her quick and the dead, so he's not even going to shoot because she's just going to dodge it anyhow. Now, because she passed her quick and the dead, she also becomes hunkered down. So hunkered down gives her a +1 to her grit. But if she's trying to shoot and she's hunkered down, she gets a -1 to her aim check. Now, I could have still rolled for Odysseus before I rolled for her quick. But I just rolled for her quick and the dead anyhow, because no matter if Odysseus hit or not, and she passed, then all shots are ignored. And that is Raven Eye's activation, and that is Odysseus's, or Odysseus, whatever way you want to call his name, I don't know. But in either case, he failed to hit her, and she is safe, and she's hunkered down right now. Last but not least is William Sherman's activation. So let's pull the activation card for him. And he gets 3 action points too as well. Let's take a look at his abilities here. So he has thermite grenades. They're only 6-inch range. There's no way he's going to get anybody with that. He also has Old Reliable, which is a 12-inch range. His limit is 3, and he's got 3 action points. Oh, what is he going to do? He's right here, and he don't really have sight on anybody, but he should move so that he's going to be better off in the next turn. I'll be back when I decide what I'm doing with him. William Sherman decided to do a dash as well, so he moved 5. He got a 9, which goes half of that, which is 4. You round up, which is 5, so a 10. And then he focused for the other 2 for his 3rd action point, which leaves him here. So he's kind of, you know, he's close to this if anybody wants to go up for this one. The boss is close to the other ammo supply drop. And the 2 Gatling gun guys, the fire team, is close to that one. So they pretty much have all 3 supply crates covered. This is definitely looking very, very dangerous for the Warrior Nation. But that ends the first turn. So now what we're going to have to do is look to see if anybody has any victory points and so on, and we can go from there. We're going to be able to also discard adventure cards or keep whatever we want, and we can draw back up to 3, but our action cards just stay like there until their turn. But we're going to have to see who goes initiative too. So I'm going to do all of that and I'll be back. On to round 2. My marker at round 2. Remember, we only go to 5 rounds. And then we got to see who's going to activate first. So we got a 29 here, and we have a 12 here. So the Warrior Nation goes first. Now the Warrior Nation is going to have to be kind of clever and try to figure out what the heck they're going to do to try to, you know, come out of this mess that they're in right now. So we're going to draw for the Warrior Nation how many action points. They get 3 action points. You notice that the cards are flipped over again, because it does say in the rule book that the discard pile, the action cards have to be flipped face down. But 3 action points. Who am I going to activate and what are they going to do? Let me think. Lots of planning involved. Judging from the board and where everybody is at, I'm thinking I'm going to activate Raven Eye, because, you know, she's potentially able to shoot the boss or to shoot the face right here, William Sherman. Oh, this is hard. Grit 6 for Odysseus the boss and a grit 5 for William Sherman. Do you know what? I think I know what I'm going to do. So Raven Eye is definitely going to activate. And she's probably going to move, shoot, and then hunker down. But she's going to move. I'm going to pre-measure first to shoot this guy right here, which is William Sherman. We'll be back after I do the measuring and figure out if that's exactly what I'm going to do. Remember, 3 action points, and her limit is 3. Because she is in the state of hunker down already, when she activates, she loses that. Now, what I'm going to do, I did some measuring and figuring out, so she's going to decide for her first action, she's moving in base-to-base contact with both the gallows that has the supply drop on and also this barricade. So because of that, she's holding up this objective. She's within 3 inches because it's 2 inches up and 1 inch over. And that means that she is potentially having a victory point. Now she's also going to shoot at this face gentleman right here, and hopefully she's going to shoot William and kill him. We will see. But now she's got to do an aim check. Now her gun is refined, which means a 9 and 10 counts as critical this time. So maybe she will hit him and do some damage. Let's find out. Her aim is 8. Now she only has to get 2 or better. Now she could focus that, and anything but a 1, she'll definitely hit him. But she's not going to focus, because if she fails, like I said, her 3rd action probably is going to be hunker down just to increase her defense mode. So anything but a 2 or higher is going to be good for her. Let's go. You can do it, Ravenclaw. Oh, look at that. She's got a 5. She hit William. Oh, boy. Now, she has a -1 pierce. So let's look at William's grit and see what happens. Looking at William's stats, he has a grit of 5, but because it was a -1 piercing value for the rifle, it goes to grit 4. So he would have to roll a 6 or higher. And he has, for this Unicom roll, he has the Quicken the Dead, and he also has Metal. So he may just Quicken the Dead to say, you know what, I'm going to try to avoid the shot. And that's what he's going to do. He's going to try to Quicken the Dead this. Hopefully, he'll be able to do this. William has a quickness of 5, so all he needs is a 5 or higher on the die. And he passes Quicken the Dead. He's got a 6. So he passes Quicken the Dead, so because he passed it, the shot would not hit him and he becomes hunkered down. There he is, hunkered down. Now, when he activates, if he moves or shoots, that hunker down is gone. But that is her second action was to shoot. Now, her limit is 3 and she had 3 action points, so she can't really shoot another one because her limit is only 3. So for her third, she's going to play it safe and she's going to hunker down. Hopefully that will help her out. Let's go on to the Union's activation. Union's activation. Oh, this is 4. This is not good. Oh boy, that's a high one. All of their limit. Oh, the Union Fire Team. No, limit of 2, limit of 3 is the highest. The limit is to 3. I don't know. Should William return the favor and go after Raven Eye? I just don't know. Or should Bernard Hopkins just try to shoot Raven Eye? Because he's in range too as well. The choices are just unlimited here. I gotta think about this one. I am going to activate William Sherman to go now. With his over-reliable, he has Ammo Clip, Complex, and Blast. That's 3 deadly combos. 3 very bad deadly combos. Let's decide what he's going to do again. His limit is 3. He has 4 action points, but he can only do up to 3. I know what I'm going to move with them. I'm going to do with them. I'm going to move him. I'm going to focus the move to move an extra 2 inches because his quick is 5, so it moves a total of 7. And then he's going to shoot. And hopefully he's going to hit Raven Eye. We'll see. Because he's hunkered down and he's activating, he loses his hunkered down ability. And he's moving 7, which I already measured. Oh, and he's in contact now with the tree. So he has, you know, a little bit of cover at least. Now he's going to shoot Raven Eye if he's within the 12-inch range. I'll measure. I'm sure he is. He moved up, he's in cover, and he's in 12 inches, just at the cusp of 12 inches to shoot at her. So when he shoots, now the gun that he's using has ammo clip, which means you have 3 options you can choose. He's choosing Shred, which will ignore the first amount of cover to when he does an aim test. So his aim originally right now is, I'm just looking at his card, he'll aim 5. So he would get 5 minus 1, so he'd have to get 6 because on cover, but because he chose Shred, it's back down to 5. But he also has on his weapon, it's called Complex. You have to put a -2 when shooting, doing a shoot test. So that 5 is going up to 7. So he needs to get a 7 to hit her. Oh, chances, chances, chances. So this is going to be his third action because he moved, focused his move, and he was shooting. 7 or higher. He's got it. He's got 7, so he did actually hit her. Oh no! But she's hunkered down. So because she's hunkered down, she gets a +1 to her grit to try to save. So her grit is 4, so she gets to go up to 5 for her grit. So all she has to do is get 5 or higher. And that will be it. Now, she already did her Quick and the Dead, so she can't do that. She could choose to do metal, but become disordered. But let's do this first. So she needs 5 or higher. Come on, you can get a 5 or higher, Raven Eye. 7! She passes regardless. So because of the Quick and Dead, or I mean the grit check that she didn't even have to do her Quick and the Dead. She just did a basic grit check, and she passed. And that's it. Because of that, she's not hurt. She's still in the game, and he is like, why didn't I hit her? I should have hit her. Ah! Raven Eye is still in the game. Woohoo! And that ends the activation of William Sherman. So now we're back to the Warrior Nation to see if the Warrior Nation can do something. Come on, Warrior Nation, get a good card. And it's 3 points. Woot! I'm activating Wax Looking, so since she's activated, she gets her fortune back of 3. You can see here on the card it says 3 fortune. Now, judging from what she can do, she has a limit of 3 actions, and 3 action points were drawn. And I'll explain to you about her common rules. Is one thing she has that I want to point out is agile, because that's very, very important, and you'll see in a moment. For Wax Looking, what she's going to do is she's going to do a dash, and she's going to do a focus, because she wants to get up here. I already rolled off camera, and she did get 3 inches. So her dash, I did measure this, so pretty much what she does is she moved up here. That is where she goes for her 3 action points. And that's it. Just what I'm planning on doing for her is when they activate it, even if they should, she has which is called parry onto her soul blade, so she can try to block one of the attacks. Now hopefully she won't be killed, and then she can jump down on the next turn and get close, because that's where she's most dangerous. When she gets in close combat, she can do a lot of damage very quickly. And that's what she wants to do, is try to get up there to do a lot of damage very quickly. On to the Union's turn. How many action points is the Union going to have? I'm just tidying up here a little bit first off. Just to make sure this is all nice and clean. So Union are getting 3 action points. Who am I going to activate and what are they going to do? This is the question. Probably know where I'm going with this. Now, because Wax Looking did jump up onto the rooftop, she did put herself in a little bit of a dangerous situation, because the Union Fire Team did not activate yet, but they're activating now. And what they're going to do is they're going to try to shoot Wax Looking. Now, because they have standard Gatling guns, they have a 15-inch range, -2 pierce, and a rate of fire of 4. That is bad. Or 3. And this is really, really bad in a way. So 3 shots going at them. Now their aim is 5, so it's a -1 to that, so it will be 4 because she's up higher, and she has been obscured a bit because of on the rooftop. So they have to get 6 with 3 shots each to hit her. Let's do this one at a time. So 6 or better for the first one. Uh-oh. Got a 6. That is bad news for her so far. So that's 1 hit so far. Her grit is 6. Oh, what is she going to do here? That was a hit. So now she has to dodge from 1 of the 3 shots from the first one. Now her grit is 6, but she gets +2 grit. 1 for being in the building and 1 for the high ground. So therefore, all she do is have to go higher than 2 or higher. So let's see. Oh, that's a critical pass. So that, bam. Can't even make re-roll or anything like that. So she passes the 1 shot. Second shot, 2. He fails his shot. Because remember, he has to get a 6 8. So he passed that one. So 2 of them went through. And she's got to try to dodge. Gets a 4. And anything 2 or higher. So she passes again. So she's safe from being up in that building. That was pretty smart. You know, let's go to the next shots from the second of the fire squad with the Gatling gun. First shot. Got to be 6 or higher. Critical failure. That's 1 gone. Second one. Critical failure. Oh, she's getting lucky here. Third one is a 7, so it does hit. Now, she's got to get better than 2. 2 or higher. She gets an 8, so therefore, she manages to just shrug off and just dodge everything. Watch looking at super agile because she just beep, 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 she just moved everything from these guys shooting at her. Whew, I hope I played that right. If not, comment down below. Comment the page number again. We're playing with version 1.08 for the rule guide. If I made a mistake, please let me know, and that's how I learned the game. So she's still in the game. They activated, they failed. So she was right by coming up here. And they didn't move at all. They both shot. Wait till I check how many action points this is, because they may have some more stuff they can do. They have a limit of 2, but they drew 3 action points. They only shot 1, so that's 1 action point. Now, if they want to shoot again, it'll cost them 2 action points to shoot again. And I'm thinking, should they shoot or should they try to move? Because she's going to be on top of them next turn. Like, she's ready just to pounce on them. And they'll be able to move only 5 inches. Should they move 5 inches that way? Or should they shoot and try to hit her again? This is tough. They shot. They're like, okay, we have to get a little luckier with shooting. Let's just try to shoot her again. Let's try to mow her down. We got Gatling guns. We can do this. First shot, need a 6 or better. Got a 5. Didn't pass. Second shot, got a 3. Didn't pass. Third shot. Got a 2, didn't pass. Holy crapola. And now, she don't even have to try to dodge that. So, 6 or better, gets a 4. Nope. 6 or better, critical failure. 6 or better, failure. So the only option that they could do is they could take 1 fortune from Odysseus and roll to see if it gets 1 hit. And I'm thinking that's what's going to happen. Odysseus never used any of this. Totally forgot about the fortune thing, so we're taking 1 away. And he has 1 less fortune, but it's a re-roll for that 1 die. I know what you're thinking. I could have done this in the first round. I totally slipped my mind, but I remember it now. So I get to roll 1 more. So I need 6 or better. Got an 8. Oh, so may hit her. Well, she's got to get anything but a 2 for her grit. She passed. That was close. She was sweating a little bit there. But that means that the Union fire team is in trouble the next turn. Because when she's going to activate, you know what she's going to do. If she activates before them, she's going to jump down and just start swinging her spirit blades or soul blades and try to chop them down. Ooh boy. Onto the warrior nation to activate. Oh. See, wrong pile. It's this one. 2 action points. The only ones now that can activate is Little Claw. She has a limit of 3. She has a fortune to sell if she wants. She's able to throw her tomahawk. Now that's only 8-inch range, and she's not anywhere close to that. She don't have to be worried about getting shot by the Gatling group because they already activated. So she may just try to move up to get that victory point for the ammo drop or supply drop. Let's see if that will work. Let's go over and examine her possibilities. You can see she's right here and she's very close. And she don't have to worry about these guys that were lining up to protect this because they already activated. They get scared. and tried to shoot walks looking to kill her, but they failed, as you could tell. Now, the only person that she really has to worry about that maybe in range next is Odysseus, because he could start moving over to shoot if she goes to here. And the only other two people that didn't activate onto the Union side is the artillery strike guy and the guy that got the 20-inch range right there. So that's pretty bad too as well. So she can get hit 3 times or attacked 3 times. But she's gonna try it. So with her quickness, she don't have to be right up there. It's better if she kind of moved up so that she's behind here to get some cover, and 3 inches, you know, all she got to be is 3 inches from this supply drop. And that's what she's going to do, I think, because she has a limit. She has 2 action points, and she has a fortune that she could spend. And that is what she did with her 2 action points. She was here, she moved up her 6, and then she focused for her second action to move an extra 2 inches. And now she is 3 inches within this, plus she got a little bit of cover. And because of that, it could possibly have saved her from at least one of the attacks. Hopefully. But we're on to the Union turn right now. For the Union turn, let's see how many action points. Ooh, that's not good. That's 4 action points. Somebody may be in trouble here. Actually, both of them are in trouble. 3 of them are all in trouble, really, if you think about it. I don't know who's going to activate. Should it be Alfred doing an artillery strike? Or should it be Odysseus to shoot at Little Claw? Or is it going to be Bernard Hopkins to shoot at Little Claw? Or at Raven Eye? I don't know about this one. I just don't know. Alfred does a little smirk and a little snicker. Because he is going to activate for the Union. And who he is going to shoot, because it is indirect, don't need line of sight, 72 inches. It's a blast. He is going to try to call an artillery strike to hit none other than poor Wax Looking. Oh, now she has higher ground, and she also is in cover, so it's -2 to his aim. So Alfred's aim right now is 5, so it'll go up to 5, 4, 3. So he's got to get a 7 or higher to successfully hit her. But if he hits her, you know that it's going to be some pretty bad devastation going on. Here goes, 7 or higher. Gets a 6. So he failed. But 4 action points, and his limit though is 3. So for his second time he can shoot, but it's going to cost him 2. So that will be 3 action points so far, and he has 1 left, and he's going to do that. Oh, he gets a 9 this time. He has successfully hit Wax Looking. Very bad. But now she's going to have to do her grit check. And again, we've seen this before. All she has to do is roll 2 or higher. She gets a 6, so she successfully passes that. So that is the 2 actions, or the limit that he did. But he has a limit of 3, I should say. So that's 2. Now he has 1 action point left. What he could do is, he can't shoot again. He could have focused that to drop that down. That probably would have been good. But it still would make a difference. Totally forgot about that. What is he going to do for his third one? Should he move? Because Raven Eye is, can probably take a pot shot at him. He's, kind of obscured with cover. Yeah, he's not going to do anything else. Maybe he should just hunker down. Yeah, that's what he's going to do. He's going to hunker down for his third one so that if anybody shoots at him, he's going to get a little bit of a bonus. He may have not have won the fight, but the war isn't over yet, and he's hunkered down now. Next activation for the Union again, because everybody, as you can see, into Warrior Nation, they're dead. She activated, and she activated. Thanks to keep track of this because of the markers. So we're on to the Union's next activation. See how many points it's going to be. Oh, another 4. Ooh, so who do we have left that can activate now? We have Odysseus and we have Bernard. Odysseus kind of in between. He could go to try to start going after Wax looking, or he can shoot Little Claw. Maybe if he's in range, and you can see that Raven Eye is right here too as well. But she's hunkered down. Oh boy, what will he do? I'm thinking he should probably go after Raven Eye. That was 4 action points that was drawn for him. And he has a limit of 3, so I'm thinking what he's going to do is, you can see the tape measures already laid out there, and you can see Raven Eye is hiding as best as possible. So he's going to move his quickness of 5, which will bring him right here. And he has line of sight for sure on her. He's going to focus his shoot. So that will be 3 action points. So 1 to move, 1 to shoot, and 1 to focus. And he's got 1 left. But what else is he going to do except maybe hunker down at the end of it? Who knows? But now he's going to shoot with his focus. So he gets a +1. So his aim right now is a 6. It goes to 7 because he's focusing. And so he'll have to roll a 3, but she has cover, which will drop this back down. So he has to get a 4 or higher to successfully hit that. Let's go and see if he's going to roll a 4 or higher to hit Raven Eye or not. Now remember, if he hits Raven Eye with this gun, that's devastating because it's a pierce of -4. It's really bad. So 4 or higher. Oh, he's got his 4. He got her in his sight, and he shot, and bam! He got her. Now she's going to have to try to make a grit check to try to solve this. Unless she does Quick and the Dead, but I didn't declare Quick and the Dead for her, unfortunately. Oh, no, that's not good. Not good at all. I should have said Quick and the Dead before he went to roll, but I didn't. So there, she wasn't fast enough to say it. She wasn't quick enough. So let's figure out what the modifiers for her. So, -4 to her grit. So her grit right now is 4. So she has 0 grit. Well, you can't get 0 grit. But in any case, she's hunkered down, so she gets a +1 to her grit. So she has 1, so she has to roll 9. She's also, she's in deep trouble, I think. This could be the end for Raven Eye. Yeah, because she needs to roll an 8, because 1 for the hunker down to add to her grit. -4 pierce, like that's so bad. She needs a 9 or higher. She needs a 9 or a 10 to succeed with her grit. Now she has metal, but the problem is where she has the metal, and Odysseus's gun has a -4 pierce. So which means that metal will not work. So all she can do is just hope to roll a 9 or better. Oh, come on. 4, she failed, but she is going to spend 1 of Wax Looking's fortune to re-roll that. I think it's just kicking a dead horse or whatever that saying is, because it's almost impossible. Critical failure! So that means that poor Raven Eye is gone. Odysseus just shot her. Picked her off. Killed her. It's another victory point for the Union. This is getting a lot of one-sided now. The only one left for this game now is Wax looking, and Little Claw. Are they going to be able to pull this off? I don't know. It's hard to say. Last one activated on the Union side is Bernard Hopkins. Let's see the action card he gets. It's 2. His limit is 3. He has 2 action points. You don't even have to shoot. Well, he can try to shoot Little Claw if he has line of sight on her. Okay, Bernard, what are you going to do? Well, I just checked the range for Little Claw over there, and she is over 20 inches, so he can't just stay there and take a pot shot. He actually has to move. Has a quick of 5. Now, his 2 action points, so I think he's going to move and shoot. So he's going to move up 5, and then he's going to try to shoot Little Claw. I haven't been using the adventure cards very often. I'm kind of getting caught up into this game because, again, I love playing this game. Whether I make the rules mistakes or not, I still love it. But he is going to use an adventure card, and this is the Guts, +1 action point. So the reason why he's doing that is he's going to focus his shot. So because of that, it's going to help his aim. So his aim at the moment is 6, but he's going to focus it, and it's 2. It's 2 to anything for the focus. So he is going to go. All he has to get is 2 or higher to be able to hit, because the 2 for that focus. Oh no! One rule that I constantly keep forgetting about, forgive me for this, is the long range rule. So anything over 12 inches is considered long range, and it's a -1 to your aim attribute. So this is definitely over 12 inches away, and because of that, he gets a -1 to his aim. So because of that, now he had to get 8, but now it's on the 7, so he needs 3 to successfully hit Little Claw. Another thing to note is because Little Claw, you can see, is, she's obscured because she's hiding behind that tree. She gets a little bit of a cover bonus too as well. So originally, his aim was 6, and he focused the shot, so that goes up to 8, and it went down 1 to 7 because of the long range, and then 1 more because of the cover, which means it's back to 6. So he has 6 for his aim value, so he has to get 4 or higher to successfully hit her. Now, also too as well is I'm starting to catch up onto these more and more. I'm going to play more videos shoot more videos for Wild West Exodus as I go along and learn more rules and make it more accurate. But because Littlefoot is here behind this, she also gets a +1 to her grit roll because of the cover. So right now he has to get 4 or higher to be able to successfully hit her. Let's see if he gets a 4 or higher. Gets a 4. Well, it's not looking good. Not looking good at all. Little Claw, I think, is in a world of hurt right now, because her grit is 4. She gets an extra grit because behind cover, which is 5. Now, on top of that, his sniper rifle has a pierce value of 2. So then it goes back down to 3 now, which means she's going to have to roll a 7 or higher to succeed this grit check. 7 or higher, come on. Oh, that's a 10. And that's a critical success, or passes. This is lucky. So she didn't get hit. She managed to just avoid it. Again, I keep forgetting about the darn quick and the dead rule, where you would have to say land the quick and the dead after you shoot. But you have to announce it before you even roll any dice. But she didn't, but it don't make a difference in this case because she got a critical pass or success. So therefore, she's still in this game. She is so lucky. This ends round 2. We got 3 more rounds to go. Now, because another kill was done, Raven Eye gets shot by the Union, so they go up another victory point. So they got 5 victory points now. But Little Claw is within 3 inches of the supply drop, so she gets a victory point for holding on to that. So at least it's not a total skunkaroni so far, because they got 1 victory point to 5 victory points. And we are on to turn 3 now. So now what we can do is we can go over our cards, the adventure cards, which I don't really use a lot of, and discard what we want, and draw back up to 3 cards. At least it's not a total skunk like I said for Warrior Nation so far, but we're on to turn number 3. Now let's see who's going to activate first. 25 and 6. So Warrior Nation gets to activate first again for the second time. Lucky, lucky, lucky. And they have 3 action points. This one here was 3, but that was just for the initiative. I could be doing this totally wrong, that you keep the one that you drew for the initiative, but I just drew a second one like I did for this entire game. But 3 action points. Who am I going to activate? Is it going to be Little Claw? Or is it going to be Wax Looking? For the Warrior Nation, I'm activating Wax Looking so she gets all of her fortune back. Now, she has a quick of 5, she has agile, that's for climbing. Now, for agile, for like getting off where she's on top of the building, then she gets to re-roll any failed jumps and falling, I should say, because she's jumping off it more or less, so she has to pass an unmodified quick. So she's a quick of 6. So she needs 4 or higher so that she can pass to jump down before she can move. 4 or higher. She gets a success, critical success. So she's able to move. So her quick is 6, and that will take her right down off of the building because the building is 3 inches and she's 2 inches away from the edge. So that would be 5, and she has to move 1 more inch. Let's see that. There she is there. So now she jumps down because she passed. And that's 5. And now she can go up 1 more inch. Now she is in charge. Now she can charge for her second action because you got 3 action points. Excuse me. And when she charges, she gets a free attack. There you see she moved. But she's keeping within an inch of the model right there, so that because she has a 1 inch range onto her soul blades. And also she's got to play an adventure card, and this adventure card is 1 unit gains +1 to the fight. So from where she's here, she's not going to do an aim check, she's going to do a fight check. So with that fight check she gets a +1, so she has a 7-8, so she has to get 2 or higher to succeed to hit this. But remember I said that she's super powerful in close combat? You will see why in just a moment. The reason why she's so powerful is, number 1, she has really high for her fights, but that's 7 because I played the card goes to an 8, so anything 2 or higher will be successful in the hit. But if you look at her special rules, she has Combat Master special rule. Combat Master. The unit may make a second strike action in an activation for 1 action point rather than usually 2. A third or fourth combat action still costs 2 action points. So because of that, she still has 1 action point left after she does a fight, because when you do a charge, you get a free fight action. So she's going to go in, she's going to attack 1 and see if she kills it, and then if she does, she's just going to fight the other one for the cost of 1 more action point. And that is how she can be very devastating. Anything but a 2 or higher, she's going to be passing it. She gets a 4, so she hits him, the first guy, with her blades for sure. She wham! She just got it, and that's her spirit blades. That's what it was. I said soul blades. It's wrong. It's spirit blades. So she hits him, and it's a rate of attack of 2, so it's twice. So this is the first hit. Now I'm going to examine his grit and see what he has to roll. He has a grit of 5, so to be successful he needs to get a 5 or higher to succeed. He gets a critical failure of 1 and he can't re-roll this. So he get hit for 1, and because he get hit for 1, and this unit don't have Quick in the Dead or metal or anything like that, so therefore that unit, it's dead. When I say unit, I meant to say 1 miniature. So now she hit that. Now she gets a second hit, so she can hit him for the second hit and see if she'll take him out, and then she can spend 1 action point to attack yet again. Her second strike is going to be a critical hit. Oh! Now, she has Decapitate too as well. I have to read up on that because that was a really good hit. She might have just completely decapitated him. From where we rolled critical success, I checked to see onto her card, but her spirit blades are not lethal, because if they were lethal it would turn into brutal, but because decapitate, it goes to lethal, which means that when he's going to roll his grit check, if he passes, he has to re-roll it because of the lethal of this spirit blades. Plural for blades. That's right. Spirit blades. So his grit, again, I'm excited, I'm forgetting everything, but his grit is 5. So here goes. He's got to get 5 or higher. He gets a 6, but you know what? He's going to re-roll it. He gets a 7, so he does pass that hit. So he don't get hit this time for a second, but now she's using her 1 action to attack again. So all she needs to get is 2 or higher. She gets a 3. That's for 1 hit. So now he has to get 5 or higher to pass. He gets a 3. So he fails this. Now he can use a fortune, which he's going to do of Odysseus, so that he can re-roll. And he fails again. So therefore, he can't do anything else. He don't have metal, he don't have Quick in the Dead. So she just killed them 2 models in the units right away with her spirit blades. Spirit blades. That is awesome. As I said before, Wax Looking is super dangerous in close quarter combat. She just displayed that by killing the two guards, just like that, the fire guards, boom, to kill both of them like that. So that's going to be another victory point for her. This is great. Wax Looking did a great job, but there's one problem. There's always problems. And that is she's out in the open for attack. But she has fortune, so she's spending 1 fortune to hunker down. And that'll give her, you know, it will help her out with her defense, hopefully enough to keep her in the game. But all in all, she got 2 more victory points because she killed them 2 guys with the Gatling guns. Bam, bam, whoosh, Spirit Blade just cuts their heads off, just like that. They're done. Next we have the Union for their activation for this, and they get 2 action points. Who are we going to activate? You can see here there's 2 possible choices for activation. Actually 3 possible choices if you come to think of it, because we can do another artillery strike to see if we can... I'm sorry, Little Claw, but that's exactly what's happening. I already know. So who's going to activate? But Alfred is going to activate, and he's going to do his artillery strike, and he's going to try to hit Little Claw. Now it's -2 piercing, 72 range. Poor Little Claw, poor Little Claw. He's got 2 action points, so 1 action point first, and that's what he's going to do. He's not even going to move. He's just going to try to shoot the artillery strike at her. Because he activated, he loses his hunkering down, but now he can certainly try to destroy her with the artillery strike. Poor Little Claw, She don't know what's coming at her. Oh no, no, no. You know, going by where I found the long range and so on and so on, I think the artillery strike, even though it's past 12 inches, it's still going to have the effect of the long range. I'm going to double check onto that. But as it stands, she is in cover, so his aim of 5 will go to 4, and then it would be 1 more for long range. So he'll have to get 7 or higher to hit, but I'll double check that for the artillery strike. Just checked in the book and it doesn't say anything about that. So again, these rules are totally evolving in this game as I go along because I'm learning the rules more and more. So hopefully by the end of this video I'm gonna make less mistakes, but I know I made some mistakes during this video. But nobody is perfect, and again, this is my first time playing on camera with Board Game Maniacs for this game. I played it before with Luca from Mini Wargaming, where I used Warrior Nation. You can go to miniwargaming.com and you can look up the How to Play Wild West Exodus, and I think I'm game number 4 where I go up against Luca. But in either case, I'm learning more and more now, so because of that, he does have to get 7 or higher to successfully call in the airstrike or artillery strike. And he gets a 6. He's going to spend Odysseus' last fortune to re-roll that. And he gets a 7. So he successfully is able to call in the artillery strike. So now we have to see if Little Claw will be able to defend it. And you can see Odysseus had 1 last fortune to spend because these were all used up during the battle with Wax looking. So because of that, he's got no until he activates. But once he activates, his fortune goes all the way back up again. Now let's go see if Little Claw will defend this artillery strike or not. Her grit is 4, so it's going to be 5 because she has the +1 to her grit for the cover. So she needs to get 5 or higher here. Oh, critical failure, and you can't spend any fortune to re-roll this. This is bad. So bad. So bad. Guess what, Little Claw? You're gone. You didn't know what was coming at you, and BAM! Dust. Western desert dust. Just totally disappeared, totally annihilated her. And that's another victory point now for the Union. That will bring the Union up to 6 victory points. Ouch. And it would have been 4, but they killed Little Claw. So Little Claw is not around the supply drop, so down to 3, but it's not a stalemate yet. I'm thinking I may call it there because I don't think that Wax looking is going to be able to pull off a victory here. The reason why, because she's the only one left into her posse, the boss. And on top of that, she already activated. There's 2 more turns left. You know, just hypothetically, she was able to get to here on her next turn, and by the end of it, she was able to hold that for another victory point. That would be 4 victory points. And then the next turn, it may be 5, but chances are they're going to pick them off because they're at 6 now. The Union is at 6, so even if she was able to do that, she wouldn't have enough victory points to secure the win. So therefore, unfortunately, it is, well, not unfortunately, but it is a Union victory. Because I'm going to call the game there because there's no way to continue on, because you know that the Warrior Nation would not pull this off, unfortunately, because they couldn't get in close enough and do damage fast enough to them, to the Union, to be able and hold the objectives. There were a little bit of critical error mistakes where two of them went in the open to try to stay where the ammo crate is, but they get picked off. So unfortunately, that kind of decided the game right there. And that's all it wrote. All she wrote. Hope you enjoyed this battle report. Again, I know I made rules mistakes. Please, after watching this video, comment down below. Let me know what rules mistakes I made, because there are probably going to be a few of them. And refer to a page number in the rule book. Again, I am using the updated rule book of version 1.08. So look in that rule book if you don't have it, or even if you have it, and refer to that page number to correct me where I made the mistakes. Because this is the way I learn how to play games from the viewers, because they help me so much more with playing games such as this and evolving and learning the rules as we go along. This is great. I hope you enjoyed this game, this battle report for Wild West Exodus by War Cradle Studios. You can go to their website, wildwestexodus.com. You can find all the information, the posses, everything, even ones that are coming out. This is very exciting. I have a couple of more different factions and posses that I'm going to play in the future for this game. This is the first time I played Union. I really like them, I have to say. They're a very shooty army. And Alfred with the artillery strike is like devastating because he can do so much damage. You could see where he hit the Kaga brothers and he killed all three of them right away. Like, that's crazy. Again, there could be a little bit of rules mistakes that I did, but they couldn't do Quick and the Dead because of that artillery strike with the blast. And I don't think they had metal that they could do, if I'm not mistaken, for the Kaga brothers. But in any case, it was a lot of fun playing this game. I love playing Wild West Exodus. I'm going to definitely play more and more on my channel. I'm going to try to set up different scenarios for it, custom scenarios and everything else. So I hope you had fun watching this, because I certainly had a lot of fun playing this for everybody, including myself. So until next time, you know what I'm going to say. Communication is key. Talk to everybody, because you need to talk to find out everything that's going on. You're very aware. You get knowledge from it, and knowledge is power. So until next time, Board Game Maniacs, be a maniac!